The Hebrew text in the Bible has hidden formats. By revealing these formats, I will prove the first writer's words were hidden from you. These formats look like poetry as I group them into small paragraphs. Their grouping will become known as a psalm, and together they become psalms. Let me show you our Creator's 12 commandments, listed in Exodus chapter 20, verses 1 through 17. Any father of a family or his wife who did not obey any one of these 12 commandments, our Creator demanded they bring him a sin offering. Thus, our Creator defined the word sin as not obeying any one of these 12 commandments. Next, I want to show you how I changed one word in Exodus 26, verse 26, the word bars to arches, and the words now reveal the style of the roof for our Creator's tent for meeting with Him. Let me show you the translator's words from the preface of the 1611 King James Bible. They gave 4 reasons for themselves or others to edit the Bible's words. The red arrow at the top points to their 3rd reason to edit the text. By the light and feeling we attained unto ourselves. The next red arrow down points to them giving the title, the Divine, to a clerk named Gregory. The next block of words, they point out they were happy that the first emperor of Rome established the year to the course of the sun. Behind this text means Nebuchadnezzar ordered his kingdom to follow our Creator's calendar when he stopped eating grass. Did you notice the letter S in sun is capitalized? This is to give respect to the Egyptian sun god Ra. Have you seen the Egyptian obelisk in the Vatican's front yard? The last arrow points to your reward for studying the Bible. Your reward is to have a fellowship with the saints and participation of a heavenly nature that will never fade away. There is no such thing as nature to a truthful Christian. Our Creator created everything. By their own words, they were not seeking to know our Creator or Jesus. Not everyone has the knowledge to correct every word. I have an old Bible program that has the New American Standard Bible 1977 concordance to help find a better word. Their concordance has the number of times they use that English word in a parenthesis for that Hebrew word. The translators removed his name, YHVH, to put in 2 titles, Lord and God. I replaced those titles using the letters Y and V as his name, for the Hebrew language does not have a J, O, or W. By using these 2 letters, I am closer to the truth than anyone using J, O, or W for his name. So why is there a single letter O in the Hebrew text 1,095 times? No proper English was used? The blue highlighted text is text that I am removing. The red highlighted words are little words that I'm adding. Gray italic words are words that I added. To respect and honor our Creator, all capital letters in purple are our Creator's words. This is Jesus' prophecy, for I am revealing the first writer's words to tell you the true truths about Jesus. As the text is revealed, you can taste the writer's style of wording. Their words will take your belief to trusting our Creator. You will be watching prophecy before your eyes as I edit true truths back into their psalms. All right, this is going to be Habakkuk, and I started streaming and it broke down after about 35 minutes. So I've already got a good start on the text here. So I'm going to review it a little bit. And what you're seeing on the right-hand side is what I found in Ezra and Zechariah. And that is the text about them returning home. When I did Haggai yesterday, all of it was untruthful and no format. And what you'll see in that text is Haggai's name. So that's why I done Haggai next. I thought I'd do Habakkuk just because I need some information here that I believe is in Habakkuk, and that is the words about our Creator sending Babylon into the promised land, or into the last kingdom known as Judah, and then sent them away. So I thought I would go through what I had already started here. And the word oracle, that is a pagan word for divination, and you'll find that that's tied to the Greek, how the temples have oracles, or I think it's called the Oracle of Delphi. So they would never have a pagan word. It's a vision from Habakkuk. Anyway, our prophet saw, but these two verses don't talk about a proverb vision. They do break into a 4-verse format, though, and our Creator does not really save them. When you read the text, it's talking about how they were taken away as captives. So this night might not be actually from Habakkuk, because I just don't trust the text, okay, or the those that have been re-editing the first writer's formats for a long time now. And what you see here, though, is when they do what our Creator, when they have a battle, the word deliver is used. And we learn that because the way David spake about and had written about how he had delivered him in battle. So it's always tied to when an invading force comes in as the word deliverer. I'm trying to make sure that every word that you see here has but one meaning. So, and then, let's see, there wasn't iniquity, which is wickedness. It is what's known as evil to be against our Creator. And why did you make us see their evil and cause us to see that from our evilness is our destruction? I had a hard time putting those verses together. So that's all the text can be still edited some way differently when I put like verses together, because down here I couldn't use any of this text here. It just doesn't tie correctly up here with the 4-verse and then the 4-verse down here. And because they're against our Creator, it should have been for the evil ones. I forgot to put an S here, so I will put it here now. Surrounded us, because it's past tense. And therefore their justice was twisted, not perverted, but twisted. This is my word. They only had the word perverted used once in all the Hebrew text. And so what I did was I used the secular theorists and select the word twisted. And then what happened was this text here was not going with this text. It starts going differently, and you can see there's a 3-verse format instead of a 4-verse format going on. So I changed the word from observe to watch, and it took a while to get to that word. I had to go down, then I had to come back up to get to this word, because when you start understanding the conversation, they weren't going to be observing, they were going to watch for it. And it seems like this is our Creator now speaking of his prophecy through a prophet, okay? And the word wonder, I could change to shock, because I went and looked at the program here. Whoops. This program here, and I found that I could use that word and not worry about it. Usually I try to keep the word within that meaning, and then I don't say that I added that word. These words in red are words that I've had to add to complete the sentence correctly. And the blue in 8 now is text that I'm removing. Now, as you can see on the right, there's a lot of 4-verse grouping there, which actually that format looks like with a comma here and then a period, and then it would be a comma here and a period here to make the 4-verse grouping. So, but in a 3-verse, this first verse is a statement, and these two connect together to make to tell us more about this verse at the top. It's very beautiful writing when you actually see the text. And I'm specifically looking for pieces that are telling the story. And then from that, then the text reveals the format. Because I think when I started doing this, I tried to make it a 4-verse. As I kept working it, I realized that I'm doing it wrong, and I needed to find what other format was working, and it was a 3-verse. So the story is that this is before they come down. So it wasn't be just the Chaldeans here, but they said down here they're coming from afar, which would have been quite distance from Babylon to come down. The Chaldeans did side with them, but the thing here is at this time it would have been our Creator prophesying a fierce army to seize your land. Now the thing here is there was many warnings from different prophets of coming down and to warn them about them getting overthrown. And right now, it's not Babylon, okay? There is no name Babylon yet. So the thing here is remember the Assyrians come down and took the nation Israel into captivity. And now these warnings seem to be about Babylon, Babylon coming down, but it doesn't seem like Babylon has quite established. Now, this could be at the time when the king, what was his name here? I guess I should pull this up so I give you some kind of idea as to understanding the timeline and what I'm looking at here. Okay, let's see here. Ezek. Now, this is the king that received 15 more years of his life, but at his time, Israel or Assyrians had come down and taken Israel captive. Now, when he approached Jerusalem to take it, Isaiah the prophet came and told him that our Creator is going to give that guy a rumor, and he's going to leave, and our Creators stop them from taking over Jerusalem or Judah. And so what I'm thinking is that they went back because they were starting to have a fighting between Babylon and Assyria. So, but you can see it's like another 100 and some years before they come down to take over Judah at this time. So the timeline of this text could be somewhere in these 50 years or in this group right here, that it's still unknown who is who, okay? Down here, we know by now the text will say Babylon. So, but this text is not using the word Babylon. So it's a very big hint of telling me at what time the text is truthful and when, or a timeline for the text. because when you're putting pieces together like a puzzle, certain verses will pop out that will dictate what time this was said. But this one might not be by Habakkuk. So because now it's not really a vision. A vision is that he will see something, then our Creator will tell him the interpretation of what he's seeing. Where our Creator talks to him, then we just say our Creator talked to him. Okay. And let's see, how far did I get here? I got to where they're going to take over every fortress like a rubble to capture. Maybe I should have left the word it there. Because I think this is when I started noticing that my stream got shut off. So, okay, now it took me 16 minutes to get through that, or probably less than that. I forgot the intro there. It's about 4 minutes long, or a little bit more than 4. They swept through, they will sweep through. I'm thinking I had to add this word. So I'm going to say that I added that. They swept. And this was this was a fuchsia colored word, the word like, but I made it mine. These are words that were added in 1977 NSAB, and that's because I got a concordance that I can use to assist me in trying to find another word without people objecting to all my editing. They could have used another word from that list when I pop it up. I'll show you. So now I've got to figure out the next verses here. Whose strength is their God. And this is the Hebrew word for God here. There are many different titles for our Creator, but this one is a little bit different. And here, let me show you here. This is without the O. This is with the O. But you can see that they're using it for the title God pretty much all the time. So the thing here is they already had a title God, and what they've done is took out our Creator's name 6,823 times, and now everybody thinks title is his name. Christians just have to wake up and actually obey our Creator, and they would actually be able to say they're true Christians. Right now they're weak and fake. So those whose strength, it would have to be whose strength is their God, and then it's going to be a word's missing here. So a word is missing. I don't know what their God is, and there, because I'm going to use the word God. But I just want to let you know that Elohim is, or not Elohim, but this word here. And I don't know the Babylonian God at this time. It could be Ra, the sun god. So let me put Ra here. Let's say that I added that here. But that doesn't seem to connect here. You are not from are you not from everlasting? That doesn't make any sense. The one who is writing this doesn't understand our Creator's already told him he is always, or he is. So this would be Jesus here, Holy One. So I have to put my Holy One, we will not die. But it's not die to mean our soul will die. Our Creator teaches that uh, you will always live forever. But those that are editing the text really believe in reincarnation. If you don't believe me, Jesus talks about John is actually the reborn of Elijah. So they've got Jesus not even believing he's who he is, and mocks our Creator by saying our Creator doesn't exist because there's reincarnation. My Holy One, we will not. My Wifey, my Creator. Your Holy One will not die, and we know that's not the truth. The body dies, so there's something wrong here. You have appointed them to judge, and you, Rock, have established them to correct. Now that is gibberish, even when you look at it and break it down. Oops. You are not. You are not. For you have appointed them to judge. And you, Rock, have established thine eyes are too pure to approve evil, for you cannot look on wickedness with favor. Why do you look with favor on those who deal treacherously? Why are you silent? Okay, now all of a sudden, this was text our Creator was saying is going to happen. So now that's kind of like this here is now a different subject in the text. Now, if you want to just skip to the end and see it all cleaned up, fine and dandy, I don't mind. But if you want to know and understand how these words come about, just hang in there with me. I try to be very thorough with what I'm doing. I'm not seeing this here verse. I'm not really seeing this. Because this, whose strength is their god Ra, could have started up here. And these are all our Creator's words. I didn't go through them and correct them yet, but and he would never speak of their God as somebody to be even, he would have said something like their false idols would be like in the sense of that type of wording. So this, though, coming from a person who is talking to our Creator at that time, would they use the word God as their God is comparing to our Creator as a God, and have this likeness, but we know you're our Creator and we don't have a false belief. Uh, we know, I know there's so much text about Jesus already. So, and this is what they're trying to say. I just don't see this text being true. I don't see any of this text really as truthful and not following the story here. Now, this, I have to say as well, is not going to be there, but this text, I'm just going to get rid of as well. Okay. They're not going to use like a fisherman's net. They don't do that. They'll bring them up with a hook and drag them away with their net. This is just gibberish, untruthfully being said. Um, this is just why would they do anything? They would be sacrificing to their God, not to their net. Burn incense to their fishing net. That's just stupid text. And then this is like our Creator finishing up and telling you what's going to happen, even though that this is not our Creator speaking. I will stand. I will stand at, not on, at. I will stand at my post. This is just, I will stand at my post. Okay, I'm seeing that this is confusing me because I'm not sure what the intent is here yet. So I'm going to go down here and start reading what he will speak to me and how I may reply when I am reproved or rebuked. Then Wyvie answered me, This has nothing to do with this text. So I need to separate this. Wyvie said, record it has to be this vision. Well, I guess if I use these words, and use this word, as said, for me to record to write, not record, write. Oops. Write this vision. And they didn't use tablets, they used scrolls or later paper. At this time, they would have used paper. Tablets are what they used in Babylon. The king would have things recorded in clay and then hardened. That way, nobody could change the words. So that's kind of why they're saying recorded on a tablets. But that isn't how they did this. So Wyvie answered me and said for me to write this vision. That's becoming a 3-verse. And this, I have to say, is I'm adding it. This is not needed. We already have it actually being said, so that isn't part of that. So that That who reads this, reads, that who reads it, whoops. And what I'm trying to say is it's who reads it about the vision. This is words come from our Creator. And I'm going to put those as the word one. Change this to this and say I'm using this as this. That those who read, that those who read it may run, may escape. And this is still, I need it like this. And I have to use the word for to be a little bit smoother with the text. For those who read it may escape with their life. That's the only words I can think would be correctly said here. Now, we've already got it's being written for the vision, and then those who read it would mean later. So this is not right. Or my, this is our Creator speaking, that it's his prophecy he's talking about coming about. For my appointed time hastened. My appointed time. Um, and I'm seeing it like this. Oops. This is like a group, though it tarries. Now this, why he answered me and said for me to write this vision. It's not vision. He's talking. So I got the word vision wrong here. This has to be write my words. My prophecy. This has to be prophecy. Ivy answered me and said for me to write. This would be his prophecy. His words of prophecy. For those who read it may escape with their life. This has to be it. My appointed time. And then this will be a period here. This will be a comma here. Then this will be a period like that. At my appointed time. He would not refer to himself as his text as an it. He's towards the goal. This has to be my goal of getting rid of people off the promised land. My goal will not fail. Let me see the word tarries here. This is part 2. Delayed. I like the word delayed. Boy, my buttons aren't working very fast. Push it and it doesn't want to get back there for you to see what I'm doing here. I have to put although here. I have to put although I will delay. Boy, then I guess our creator, I don't like using the word it. I really try to avoid using the word it at all times. Although I will delay it. Okay, I need to look at the word certainly, because a lot of times when I see something like this over here, see exactly, it has two words and they're trying to put them together, and then they'll say how many times they use it. So, like can get to, they used it once. Um, be brought about is what I'm looking for. Brought, it will, although I will delay it. This has to be them, although I'll delay them. Well, I'll delay them. The word it was being used too many times. So the thing here is they will certainly come. Because we already have when it's not, these two verses have to fulfill this statement. My goal will not fail. Although I will delay them, they will certainly come. Now, this might be the beginning of this text here. See, this is a 3-verse. What do I got down here? A 3-verse. So I'm thinking those two pieces are going to go together. It's kind of odd how that does it, but I was commenting before, that text just starts out of nowhere. So here, that is the beginning. This is not what our Creator would be saying. This is not something he would say when he's telling them they're coming. This text is almost like written by maybe a prophet, his own words, or the scribe writing down his words. But right now, I will not use those words. Now this, I have to go back up here. Let me do this. Let me take this text and put it on another piece of paper here. And then highlight it. Okay. Now let me, okay. Now that was my cleanup of the text that's here. And like I said, the vision Habakkuk, our prophet, saw, whoops, And then that was separate from him talking. So this is what I've got here, and then this. And this being a 4 verse, it would be like it's the next verse down. And then this is something, this is separate. Okay, now these are our Creator's words here. And that's not good doing that. I've got to redo that. So all the ones that are italic I'm not going to do, but this is just helping me to understand. These are our Creator's words. Now, what I'm looking for is how they group, because when they group as two of these psalms. That's what these are actually known as to them at that time. This is a psalm that will connect to another one, but what I would call them is a small paragraph, and then this will be another paragraph that the two of them together become a larger paragraph. Yes, and I see that. So then what I do is I try to put a double space between the text, and then do these two connect. Now the horsemen are coming, so that is definitely this is like it should be here. I have to have the word will here. They will, or not here. They will. It's to happen, not that they already did. They will mock kings. And then, okay. Now down here, this text I'm not sure about. So this was, and this would be 1. So I go up here to grab one of these smaller ones that didn't happen here. And then this. Okay. Now, let me just take, this is what I'm curious about. This is why I'm cleaning it up. See, now this is all of a sudden he's crying for help. So a prophet would be able to cry out to our Creator and expect him to talk back to him. So and then his words would be written different And then when he is returned, he would write it in a different format. And their justice is twisted. And I'm pretty sure I got rid of the word then, but I'm going to put it in here as mine. Then Wyvie answered me and said for me to write his words of prophecy for those who read it. Now here, that does kind of connect here. And then here. And how's that? See how that just connects? So because I need to sit here and save this Habakkuk cleaned on my desktop. Now you can see what I was thinking, and that's how you can see that words are going to have to be moved to come here, to get here. But here he was pleading. Yeah, because this verse doesn't make any sense even still now. So, but this text, and then see how there's some more text missing. Then he answered them for what they went through. So the text here is, because I was thinking that this text here, when I was talking about it, it was text that was telling me that they had already come down and were conquered, because I used the word to deliver here. And that is not being used correctly here when I'm seeing this. Maybe these two don't connect as I was thinking. So, but maybe this is the vision that we're going to see here. They're not the vision, his words came to him. But if these words, I might be able to change them to mean that he was talking to our Creator and he was saying these. Now, it's very rare, I mean, very, very rare that we hear words, what a prophet, how he seeks help from our Creator. Usually it is a king requesting information from him, or all of a sudden our Creator just starts talking to him. But here, this is really news to me, because I've done these before, and doing them slower on the line, I do a lot of this thinking and slowing down. I mean, it might take me a couple hours here to explain what I'm trying to say, but in the end, it'll probably only take you maybe 15 minutes to read. But the object here is to have text like this, of a prophet calling to our Creator and then him answering him. That is unique. So this text has to, if these two are true, like what I'm saying, these words need to be true, such as the evil ones surround us would be the truth here. Okay? For the evil ones surround us and their justice is twisted. See, so how it is, your commands are ignored and your justice is not upheld. And I'm thinking, well, let me go down here. Yeah, because I got down to here and I was wondering where this text went. And the text does go up farther. Text does go right here where it's at. So that is good. But here, let me show you something here in these verses here now. Okay, see how I had the word was is, and I changed it? Is here, not upheld. And I had to add the word ed here, and I guess I need to change that as is. But they were there, and I changed them because I was thinking it was past tense as I was editing. Now I've got to go back and re-edit to get that correctly done. So that's good news. That for everybody in the future to learn how a prophet is actually talks to our Creator first on his own, and then have it written is very unique, very unique. And this here, I'm still not seeing where this connects, but okay. Now, what I was thinking though is, does this text go at all down here? Marching from afar, they'll sweep through, capture they'll sweep through like a wind passing by, but they will be held guilty. But I will hold them guilty. I see that's what happens when I edit and I don't get it, and when I clean it up, it looks better, and you read it, and you got to fine tune these. But that's almost like the end, okay? The end. And that's kind of what I was wondering about here, because here I was thinking that this text would go up there. And this, these words now to me are like this text here could have been said somewhere else, and they're using pieces all over the place. That that's a small group here. He also gathers to himself all nations and collects all people. Will not all of these take up a taunt song against him? Even I don't see any of this as being truthful. I know our Creator wouldn't say any of those. You know, this is what, see how perfect these three verse is? Like I said, this is text there. That if I do this, this is not connected to this. Behold, proud. Not his soul, but his heart. And it's there. Sum them up together, just not one. Their heart is not just, not right, but not just. It has to be just. This doesn't need to be here. Now, when I was saying that this would be a statement in this, behold the proud, is going to be like a comma and a period. Okay. And I can't help but that, because that's the way I'm seeing it, or that's the way how the verses are coming out. The righteous and it's not by his faith, it's his obedience to our Creator. So this is not connecting to anything. It would be like wine betrays. Then it would be not this word. It has to be them. I can't use that. So that would be here, and that would be a period, and not needing this. Like wine betrays them, so they do not stay at home. They enlarge. Appetite like Sheol. The Sheol is the abyss. The abyss is another dimension of time and space, and that's where they know that their soul is going to go into the abyss until Jesus takes them and forgives them to go into heaven. So his appetite like Sheol. Well, that, how does the abyss have that I don't see this as well. So I'm not sure if I need to even edit anymore, just to say that yes, there's a 3-verse format that can work here, but this is not. And I don't see it as the word, because I can say that, okay, their appetite is like the but it doesn't have that appetite. I don't see this. Okay, I just don't get that. Now this would be a king gathering up, so I'm not going to go with that either. And I'm going to just get rid of this. I thought I could make it a 3-verse and hook it with all these, but I don't see this as being important enough to say that we know that they're wicked and evil. So that's just, put his nest on high. No, you can't. This person doesn't understand what the word sin is. Stone will cry out from the wall, and the raft will answer from its framework. No, somebody trying to write text that would make like a format. Woe to him who builds a city with bloodshed and found. Well, you don't build a city. One person doesn't do that. Even if you're that rich, even at that time, that would be something. Because what are you building it for? And are they going to come? So, and nations grow weary for nothing. That isn't true. The earth will be filled with the knowledge and glory of YV as the waters cover the sea. And this would be land as the water covers the land. But still, that's not truthful. This is a warning, but actually, our Creator has one of them listed as already in the laws. This, no, violence done to Lebanon will overwhelm you. Lebanon is a pagan land, so I don't know why that's even mentioned. And all the text that's stuck in my head that I've done, it doesn't line up with any of this as well. What profit is the idol when its maker has carved it as image? Let's see, some of these words are true, but I'm not going to be able to put those pieces together because there's just not enough text here to say who wrote this. And I mean, we're jumping from many different things here, but there are some. What profit is an idol when its maker has carved its image? It teaches falsehood, and its maker trusts its own hand, its own work. When he fashions speechless idols, and this, I tell you what, there are other texts that speak to this because that even tells what wood they use for the idols, and when you understand where that wood comes from and how they mark it up with chalked lines to carve it and overlay it, put silver and gold on it. It's already been said. So I don't see that needed to be repeated. There's no such thing as this. So I know that's added. I've heard the report about you. That we know is not true. Revive your work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years, make known, and wrath remember mercy. That's not true either. Revive your work. That's kind of funny. God comes from, this is a pagan land, and the Holy One from another pagan land. So I doubt that that's true. In fact, I know it's not true. He's got many times this example, you all know that through David's son's seed will become their king in heaven. Splendor covers the heavens and the earth. Full of praise. His splendor covers the heavens and the earth. Gee, are we talking about the sun god here? Is full of his praise. See the sun god all of a sudden? His radiant is like the sunlight. His rays flash forth his hand. There is a hidden hiding of his power. No, you can tell text that, oh, I didn't cut this down. So I guess maybe that's what I did, is start reading and realizing this was not going to be truthful. So, but this, okay. Before him goes pestilence, and plagues come after him. Okay, no. He stood and surveyed the earth. He looked and startled the nations. Yes, the perpetual mountains were shattered. The ancient hills collapsed. His ways are everlasting. And you wonder why they don't teach you these things or tell you these things in the church. Because you'd probably kind of like, what the hell are you talking about, dude? So let's get rid of the crap. Under distress. The tent curtains and the land the tent curtains. Not the heights, but the tent curtains. Oh, he raged against the rivers again, wrath against the sea. Oh, our Creator rides onto chariot for salvation. All was made bare. Earth with river. Okay, like I said, they have a funny concept of how our Creator made things. The mountains saw you and quaked. The downpour waters swept by the deep, uttered forth, uttered forth its voice. It lifted up its hand. The sun and moon stood in their place. They went at the light. They went away at the light of thy arrows, at the radiance of your gleaming spears. Um, oh boy. Got one guy and wiped out all evil. See, that's what I was thinking, that a lot of this stuff, you just tread on the sea with your horses and on the surge of many waters. That's kind of clever. I heard, and my inward part trembled at the sound of my lips, quivered. Decay enters my bones. In my place I tremble, because I must wait quietly for the day of distress, for the people to arise who will invade us. Well, my thinking on this is that we've got the words above where everyone who will read it will escape, or to escape. But oops, no. The fig tree should not blossom. It should not blossom, and then there will be no fruit on the vine, though the yield of the olive should fail. The fields of produce, no food. The flock should be cut off. The fold. Don't. I can say that this is not going to be connected to anything. Now this, now let's put it this way. You don't know what's going on when they said, "You make my feet like hinds feet." Okay, example. What you don't know and you're not going to like when I say it. Those males who meditate and have sex with this, have a sex with a so-called female goddess. Her, what happens to them once a year is a male's maleness retracts inside his body like an animal. So he makes my feet like hinds feet, okay, and makes me walk on my high places, okay. So now this is text that we know that doesn't belong. So that's gone. All right, now I'm going to get rid of this here as well. In fact, yeah, I don't need any of this. But from here up, I'm going to take this text, copy it, and then going to go all the way down to the bottom. And I'm going to put that text here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to correct it by selecting it again. And I'm going to show you what I've got. All right. Now I'm going to have to do a little bit of cleanup here, but I know that this text is just stuck in here. This text I know goes like this. It's a four verse, and then we have a 4-verse. And then we have this part, and this part, I know that added it as our creator said these words. So I need to okay, because I know that this is going to need extra cleanup. I'm just trying to do it in a hurry here, so bear with me. And I'm thinking this text here is going to be taken out. So I'll take it out now. Okay, that's the end of the text here. Thought there might be more. Now this text, I'm going to say I need to move it up. Three groups up. Then I'll take this and I'll show you how I move it. And this will be the editing. I'll do it like that. I'll do this all in yellow. And then what I do is I'll grab this. And since I want to make it, I'll make it 9 point. And then come here and move here. Moved 3 groups here. Now, that said, I better save this. Get rid of that. This is, well, I might as well make this 8 point. Okay. And then start again. This will be known as reordered. Below is reordered. So I only need to go from here to here. Say copy this. Below is re-edited and cleaned. Well, I haven't re-edited, I guess, so, but what I want to do is I just better stick it down here. Because what I wanted to do is read it and clean it up down here. Okay. And he didn't see these, so this is what's bothering me. And I'm just going to say written by written or this is out. This is added. This is added. Habakkuk, our prophet. How long will I cry? How long will I call you for help? To you for help. Well, for I cry out to you. For I cry out to you. I don't see the word yet here. I guess I'm going to use the word delivery because the enemy is among them. Okay. For I cry out, how long will I cry to you for help? For I cry, to you. Yet you have not delivered us. Why this has to be do, and I think I've changed that from doest. So why do you make us see their evilness and cause us to see that from our evilness is our destruction? From not our evilness, from their evilness. And it was their own people not believing in our Creator. That's how they got away from our Creator. So you caused us to know, although that is my word, and caused us to know that from their evilness will be our destruction. Your commands are ignored. Your justice is not upheld. For the evil ones surround us, or not the evil, for our evil ones, for our evil ones surround us, and their justice is twisted. Now, I think that's how that will go. And I can see what's missing as the date and time when this was said here, if it's 4 verse, written for Habakkuk. Our prophet, for this king. And this I just have to put 2 more verses missing. Okay. And if this is right, and I told you, maybe not in this stream, I guess maybe I didn't do that. Let me show you what this text is starting to tell me. As placing it in time. Now, we know the Assyrians come down and took Israel away, but it's this time down here that we know. Well, this time down here we have text from prophets saying Babylon is coming. This text here that I'm doing, we have no Babylon in here. At this time, this king, they approached him, the Assyrians, and they mocked our Creator, and our Creator sent them back because he heard a rumor. And I believe they started having attacks between Babylon and Assyria up there. So, not knowing the outcome of who's going to win, this text has to come after this time in this guy's life. Or it has to be in, well, how long did they battle? I would say that's too long to battle. So it has to become from this king who is really stupid and wicked. That king right there, he made himself his female goddess image and stuck it into our Creator's house for meeting with him. So that means the priests were corrupt at that time. But the thing here is because if I divide it like that, and that's connected, and then come up here, and so I need one of these. I like to be, I'm very meticulous on what kind of editing I want. So, because when you see the text out farther, you'll see how these two group together and these two group together. And then this is going to become the full wording from Habakkuk. Then this is like part 2. Then Wivey answered me and said for me to write his words of prophecy, for those who read it may escape with their lives, yes, their lives at this has to be his appointed time. And then 4 has to be added here. For his goal will not fail, although He will delay them. They will certainly come. Now, this I better make bigger because this here now has to be separated from here to here. Certainly come. Look and watch, for you will be astonished and shocked at what he will do. I don't like the word something here, so I'm going to use that yellow. Something in your days, and you would not believe if you were told. And it's so hard to write it as him not speaking right now. So let me go back and say it's not to be written as this way. To be written as, for my goal will not fail. At my appointed time, for my goal will not fail, although I will delay them. They will certainly come. Look and watch, for you will be astonished and shocked at what I will do. I'm going to have to add the word for here. Oops, I'm adding it. For something in your days. For something in your days. Still don't like the word something in your day. You will not believe if you were told, for I'll rise up a fierce army to seize your land. Now this I've got as two, so this is separate. Then this is going to go together, so this is two separate. They will be dreaded and feared, and their justice and authority comes from themselves. The horsemen will come with their men marching, coming from afar. They will mock. They will mock kings for everyone's fortress will be rubble to capture. They will sweep through like wind passing by, but I will hold them guilty. Okay, now that is the text all cleaned up. Well, not cleaned up. Let me show you what it's going to look like as the final product. And it won't even be Habakkuk 1 anymore. It'll just be Habakkuk's words. So done. Oops. I added those lines, and that's what happens to the text. Let me see if I can do it here. If I can do it there, I should be able to do it here. Whoops. Now I got to get rid of these words here, or these numbers. They don't mean anything no more. And there you have it. Habakkuk's words. At least I think it's Habakkuk. I guess I don't know that for sure. But I'm pretty sure at what time this is being said. Written for Habakkuk, our prophet for Judah. Now these got to be all small caps, so I've got to make small cap. And I think I make them bold. And then I'm adding that for Judah, because that's the way I note it, as small caps, as they're evil. And that's the time that they're going to, and I guess that depends on the date. So I better not do that. I better just make them all caps for Judah. Okay. How long, wifey, will I call to you for help? For I cry out to you, yet you have not delivered us. Why do you make us see their evilness and cause us to know that from their evilness will be our destruction? Your commands are ignored, and your justice is not upheld. For your evil ones are for our evil ones surround us, and their justice is twisted. Then Wivey answered me and said for me to write his words of prophecy, for those who read it may escape with their lives at my appointed time, for my goal will not fail them. Although I will delay them, they will certainly come. Look and watch, for they will be astonished and shocked at what I will do. And this is what he's going to do is they're going to tear down his house. Okay. So that's what this is, the astonishing, shocking fact. Okay. For something in your days you would not believe, even if you were told something in what I will do is something in your days. I like the word is. So let me go up here for a second. Because actually I'm going to take all this text, Noah, back up and edit it so it isn't so long and so far. Is something in your days you would not believe if you were told, for I'll rise up a fierce army to seize your land. They will be dreaded and feared, for their justice and authority comes from themselves. Their horsemen will come with their men marching, coming from afar. They will mock kings, for every fortress will be rubble to capture. They will sweep through like wind passing by, but I will hold them guilty. Now that is how our Creator talks to a prophet, to have him write it down. That's a prophecy, okay? So the words ended up being prophecy. So maybe I should look up here. Okay, the words of prophecy, his words of prophecy. Okay, that's right. Okay, but that is cleaning up, and that's Habakkuk. And now the only thing is this doesn't go with the in text that I'm doing, but it is done and cleaned up. So I'm going to call it done with this stream, and hopefully you'll be able to see my text when I'm putting it together later.